that's what I do. I run this show called the Digital Fun Fair. But I'll just talk a bit about myself before that. When I was little, I can remember going to the Science Museum in London, and there was this bit called the Children's Gallery downstairs. And you went down there and there was just loads of things where you press buttons and you could watch people's heads explode and stuff. And it demonstrated loads of scientific principles probably, but I can't really remember that. You just press buttons, things happened. And in hindsight, that was quite a formative experience. And then when I was a teenager, I was sort of about the right age to get into Space Invaders, which at the time was just like amazing. And I started programming computers and got really obsessively into it. And then when I was about 15 or something, I realised that if I didn't stop, I'd never have a life at all. And I just didn't have anything to do with computers for years after that. I did a sort of pointless degree course and then started drinking, which I reckon is quite common, and then started squatting, and I got reprogrammed by house music and MDMA for a while. Did a lot of travelling, and I started living in vehicles and busking and doing a bit of performance stuff, and then I went to Africa in vehicles a couple of times. And then I sort of realised that I hadn't done anything with my brain for years, and I really wanted to, and because I realised it was making me a bit unhappy that I wasn't really using my brain. And then at the same time as that, I had kids, and I'd been doing loads of fruit picking factory work for ages, and I was like, right, I've got to get some money not doing this, because I could see my future stretching ahead of me, and it was getting a bit depressing. So I was like, right, I'm going to go and do an MA in software engineering so I can earn loads of money. And I went on the open day for the course, and it was just so boring. I was like, no way. So I ended up doing this random art course, and I started making all this stuff. And the first thing I made, and a lot of the stuff I made on the course, it sort of ended up being part of what I do now, which was quite fortunate. The first thing I made was a bicycle, an exercise bike that you could play arcade games on. Which at the time I just thought I was the only person that had ever done that. I found out afterwards that loads of people had done it before, but I don't know, does that matter? Discuss. And I made this 3D environment that you could ride around. It had loads of psychedelic cows in, and I never knew how to do any of it before, but one of the things I learned on the course was that if I really wanted to do something, however stupid it was to other people, then I would learn how to do it. And I sort of followed that, really. But yeah, that was the first thing I made. Then I made this automatic DJing table, and I got into camera tracking. And I can remember one day I had this camera and I could move my hand in front of it and trigger a sample with it. And I was just staring at it. I just couldn't believe it. And I just got this thrill, which was quite similar to my in the Science Museum when I was 6 sort of thrill. So I kind of followed that up. And yeah. And I made this automatic DJing table, and this is a flash version of it, which doesn't work at all. Did you turn the volume up again after you turned it down? Did it? Everybody get on now. And it's just sort of... Come on, everybody get on. Come on, everybody get on now. Come on, everybody get on now. Come on, everybody get on now. Yeah, that sounds a bit bad, but yeah. This is it at a festival. It's probably better. That doesn't work. Yeah, because I make interactive stuff, I sort of think the most important thing is really if people have a good time playing with it, well, that's kind of quite important. And when I made this, people really liked it, and I've got a sort of collaborative play thing going, which I really liked.